Hi guys, welcome back to reality. I hate this shit. I really do. I hate this reality shit. It's not fun. It's not gaming. It's not something I can fix easily. Like if some game of mine decides that it's just not going to have, it's not going to work, or bugs aren't going to work, I can go look for information online. I can fix it. Hell, I can even do some light programming to fix the goddamn game. This is something I can't fix. People killing people all the time for stupid reasons. Like, whatever stupid reason you want. Literally whatever stupid reason you want. Well, let's get into it. So, there was a shooting in Dallas by this crazy fucker right here. That guy. He killed a bunch of people. And by the look of it, 12 police officers, killing 5. Also, apparently, 2 bystanders. So, yeah. So he killed a bunch of people, and according to what he told the hostage negotiator, it was because he was targeting, he was really pissed off at white people in specific, and anybody who was cops. So, color of your skin and what you're wearing. That's literally what was his target. Now his reasons for this are because he was angry about Black Lives Matter. He was upset about it. We may never actually get to the bottom of what all that means. He was a normal person, by the way, for the most part. He was an Army reservist. He's basically, he took care of his 21-year-old brother. He had a sister, he had a mother, he had a father. And he killed people. Well, anyway, in the process of reading this, it's not funny. In the process of reading this, I ended up looking at this banner up here, and this has just a whole bunch of other stuff. And I looked at that one, I looked at this one. Here's some interesting stuff. That wasn't the only thing that happened that day. This guy also killed people. Nobody's talking about this. Nobody's talking about the fact that this guy shot her and 3 other people. Like, for what? Same reason, actually. Same reason, pretty much. Yeah. Open fire, targeting white people. Because she's threatening. And she really looks like she's going to lynch some people, right? Oh boy. Because of her skin color. I don't think she would have been able to lynch anybody. No offense. She was a mail carrier. She's a postal worker. Or this guy. This guy right here. Now don't get me wrong, he got stopped by a cop. So I mean that scares the hell out of me. And I couldn't even imagine why it'd scare the hell out of him. But the guy was going back to his car. The cop was going back to his car, and they shot him in the back. He shot him in the back. Not they. He did. This one person shot him in the back 3 times. Yeah, so he's in critical condition. And that was the 8th of July. That was yesterday. That was just a couple hours ago. And meanwhile, we have this. It's a good point. Who do you call when the murderer wears a badge? Who do you call? I don't know. But I'll tell you what. Here's one thing you don't do. You don't assume that it's only black people getting killed. You don't assume it's only white people getting killed. You don't assume it's only Latinos. You don't assume it's only Asians. You don't even assume it's only men. Here's something that's wonderful. I looked this up. I just went on Google and I said police shootings by race. Didn't work out so well because it just shows a bunch of crap that I don't need to know about. This, people shot by police, killed by police, 2016. It's just 2016. They even have a number next to it. Starting from, let me show you what it looks like if I scroll all the way down. Starting on January 1st, all the way up to July 8th. You know the easiest way to tell who's been killed? Because this is a wonderful little site. Just kind of give you a ballpark estimate. They actually go ahead and give you gender and race. Right here. Right there. This was a weird one. Female shot. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to hit Control F. Go up to the year right there. I'm going to hit M/B. Well, it looks like there's 145 of those. And it looks like they're all just in that center section right there. There's a couple over here that are a little bit weird. M/B. So I can say it's about 140, right? 145. It's close. It's pretty close. So yeah, we're close. They're all over the place on this page. There's not a lot of website addresses with that particular m/b in it, but let's go ahead and do m/w. Now, maybe there's more. Maybe there's more in the addresses bar, but it doesn't look like there's many more. There's a few more. So let's say we take off maybe, I don't know. I'm guesstimating here because I'm just scrolling down really quickly. Let's say we take off 20. Alright? Take off 20. And for this one, we'll take off 22 just to be generous. 145 versus 200 and something. 145 versus 269. I'm not saying there isn't a problem with police killing people. I'm not, because, I mean, if you look at this page without even doing any sort of, like, actual math on any of this, that's a lot of people dead in the US in 2016. This isn't even going back to 2015, of which there were 1,208 killed. If you go back to 2014, there were 1,111 killed. We have a lot of people in this country. So this is still an incredibly small amount of people, percentage-wise, being killed by police in this country. It's still shitty. I'm not even going to say it's not. But when you start to make it about a group, only one group, it's only one group being killed, and they're the ones being most affected by it all the time, and you don't have evidence to back it up, you start to look crazy. And then if you say to me that you look, you know, when I say you look crazy, that I am racist, you look even crazier. But it does shut down conversation quite well, doesn't it, when I look like I'm a complete asshole or a racist. And you know, the nice thing about this site, whether it's completely accurate or not, this is kind of the cool thing about them. If you go over here to the right, we have news stories. And this is shitty. This is depressing. But at least it's factually kind of accurate. They've got, like, news stories on the people that were actually killed by these people. There was one over here, because I was actually looked at this site July 4th or so. There were only a few. One of these guys actually was holding, well, not holding, but he was, you know, putting his, like, girlfriend and her kid, like, probably his kid, in danger, and wouldn't drop a weapon, so they shot him. And he died. And yet, because he was black, I'm sure that would mean that it was because he was black. Whereas if he's white, it's who gives a shit? Let's see why this guy was shot and killed. Mental health. Killed armed man, a mental health call. Yeah, look at that. While responding to a mental health crisis, a Tuscan police officer shot and killed a man who refused to stop advancing on him with 1 or 2 knives in hand, including a large butcher knife. Yeah, this shit's funny because he's white. If he was black, we'd be like, I don't know what we'd do, but I highly suspect that there'd be something kind of like, like this. Like I said, it's not that I don't think there's a problem. There is a problem. There really, really, really is a problem. It's just not the problem that they say it is. It's not that your problem's an illusion. It's not an illusion. It's just not about you. Only. It's not just about you, and it's not about skin color, either. It's about police, and about criminals. It's about crazy people. It's about people who aren't crazy being mistaken for crazy. And in this case, in this particular case, it's about people who aren't evil, who didn't even have anything to do with anything this guy was talking about, being mistaken for the people that he thinks are the problem. In this case, it's because they were white and they happened to be wearing uniform. Hell, 2 of them weren't even wearing a uniform. They're just bystanders. Or in this case, it's because you're white and you happen to have a postal uniform on. One of you happens to be a cop. And we can go through and find all sorts of wonderful, wonderful examples where people were killed because they happen to be black, right? You can find that all over the place. You can find it, but usually it's not because they're black, it's because they're poor. It's because they're homeless. Or, which seems to be pretty often, it's because they have a weapon of some kind and they're mentally disturbed and they come at a cop with a weapon. I had recently, like a year or two ago, very recently, had a kid around here get shot by a trigger-happy cop. He had a toy gun, like an AK-47 looking toy gun. It was too realistic looking. That's why they got banned around here. He just couldn't hear the cop because he was going through a field. The cop said stop, and kid just thought, according to witnesses, said, hey, he just, basically what happened was the cop said something, kid turned around, cop shot him. What probably happened is the kid heard the cop say stop, but he didn't know that the cop was talking to him. Why would you think that anybody was talking to you if you're just walking across a field to go to a store? He was going over to his friends or some stuff just to go play whatever stupid game they were playing with a toy gun, which is a dumb thing to have anyway now, for sure. Turns around, cop shoots him. Cop had to move, still has his job. Shot a kid. There's no justice in that. People have a right to be angry about that. Do people have a right to go shoot cops now because of it? No, they don't. Just like that cop didn't have a right to shoot a kid with a toy gun. He wasn't right to do so. Yes, there's a lot of excuses for it, and it wasn't a good situation. And I don't agree with him shooting him. I think he was trigger happy. I think he probably shouldn't have shot the kid. I think he didn't know what he was doing. Kid had that thing not in his hand. A lot of things could have gone different. Hindsight 2020. This shit. He wasn't thinking clearly, and yet, here we go. Here we go. Scroll on down. I just go back one or two, because I don't know how to internet. Right there. This is where I found it. Easiest way for me to find it again. Here we go. Isn't that wonderful? Let's salute the guy for doing exactly the same thing the cop who shot the kid in my town did. Same thing. Same fucking thing. Shot a kid because of how he looked. He looked like a kid. He looked like a kid who could be into drugs, and he was carrying a weapon, right? Carrying a weapon? It was a toy. Didn't know that until later. But he sure looked like a threat, so let's fucking shoot him 9 times or 11 times or whatever the fuck it took to kill him. Right? Yeah. I mean, she looks like a threat. She's white after all. Fucking kill her. He looks like a threat. Let's kill him. Fucking stupid. He looks threatening as fuck, don't get me wrong. But did he deserve to be shot before he started shooting people? No. No, he didn't. Then he shot people. Then they killed him. So what, are we supposed to kill the cops now because he killed some people and they shot him? When does it end? I wanted to keep this as short and to the point as I possibly could make it. So I'm gonna wrap this up. If you think that this guy or this guy or this guy or any person who decides to shoot somebody for vigilante justice is doing the right thing, then you're not doing justice. You're doing something called vengeance. It should be fairly simple to you. It should be fairly simple to anybody to understand that there's a difference between the two. When you're on the road of justice, you don't dig 2 graves, You dig 2 graves if you're on vengeance. If you're, oh man. I'm so fucking pissed off I can't even think straight. If you're interested in vengeance, you dig 2 graves. That's the saying. And at least I'm paraphrasing because I'm fucking it up. That's because when you're done killing the person that you want vengeance on, you're gonna end up having to kill yourself too. This shit's not gonna liberate you. It's gonna bury you. If you do this shit... See, that one right there is the only one I agree with. I mean, that I'm reading just off the top. And that one too, yeah, it's true. Black Lives Matter. I agree. By that same argument, though, all lives matter. And boy, that's gonna piss some people off. All lives won't matter until Black Lives Matter. No justice, no peace. Again, you don't want peace if you're saying that. And you don't want justice if you're saying that. No, you want this. You want this. And that's not justice, that's vengeance. And it's not going to end up with peace, unless, of course, you want to call the peace of the grave peace. You're gonna end up putting things in the ground that you don't want to put in the ground. Innocent bystanders, people who have nothing to do with what you're talking about. Or just, fucking 12 police officers for no reason, who had nothing to do with what you were, with whatever the hell you were talking about. Or just a fucking postal worker. And no offense, a nice looking but still overweight postal worker. I bet she was threatening all sorts of people. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Stop conflating justice and vengeance. They're not the same thing. Get a grip, people. Things are way, way more complicated than just black and white. They are gray as fuck. There's a lot of people getting killed by cops, yes. The solution isn't to start killing cops. Christ's sake. Wake the fuck up.